Hi, I'm Randy Altman with Post Perspective. We're here with the Foundry's Christy Anzelmo. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so you're in London, I'm in New York. This is essentially how it's working now, and how Siggraph will be working. It's going to be virtual. So we're here to have a conversation about what you guys would have done at Siggraph, but also talk about some of your latest news. So we could jump right into Nuke Indy, which you guys just within the last 2 weeks introduced, which is really focused on freelancers.
Yes. So Nuke Indy is really exciting for us. It is a new product that's joined the Nuke family, and it is aimed, yes, for individuals. So Nuke Indy is a slightly restricted version of Nuke Studio, which is the top of the line tool for Nuke that has an editorial timeline and conform environment and all of the compositing power of NukeX in one package. So it's a slightly restricted version of that for individuals who are working on their own outside of a facility. And we've kind of stuck with the Houdini benchmark of earning less than 100K a year. So it's, and Nuke Indy is priced at $4.99 US per year as a subscription. So it's,
when you say it's a restricted version, what are some of those restrictions?
Yeah, so with Indy, we've included what we think is the tools that you would need as an individual, but have restricted, some of the features in Nuke that are really about adding scale and, efficiency to teams. So things like, the amount of Python that you can use is restricted. The API is restricted, and we've limited the output resolution to 4K. So you can work at whatever working resolution that you would want that Nuke supports, but then rendering is 4K. So those are, the main things that are included.
Okay, so if somebody starts out with Nuke Indy and decides they need a more robust version, is there an upgrade path?
Yes, so you, of course, like if you started Indy, you can then graduate, to the full commercial version. And we do have offers, for people who are buying their first Nuke. So we have a 12-month payment plan, so you can spread it out in installments or get 20% off. So all those things still apply, like if you are an Indy user looking to move to a full commercial Nuke.
Gotcha. Okay. Some other news is a new version of Nuke itself, which is Nuke 12.2. Can you run us through some of the offerings in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nuke 12.2 is the latest version. It does have, Nuke Indy as part of that, but it does have other great features as well. And it's a release that's great for us that we're quite proud of as well, because we've done it almost entirely remotely, working as a remote team ourselves. So quite an achievement to release it. But also with this release, we've done, some work that was already in our plan, but we've then brought forward some other projects that we think are really helpful for teams working remotely right now, because we know everyone's in this situation. So the highlights of 12.2 are the start of USD support in Nuke. So now you can read in geometry from a USD file using Nuke's read-geo node. So it's the same experience that you would have if you were working with Alembic or another 3D format. So quite user-friendly way to start working with USD. Then we've added RLM license roaming. So this is the ability to check out a floating license to use offline for a period of time. It's something that Nuke didn't have before. And for right now, we think it's quite helpful where, if your team is working over like VPNing into a licensed server, but having issues where they're losing connection and then they lose their license, they disconnect. With roaming, it's easy for you to manage, bringing those licenses local yourself to help. And then lastly, something that we're really excited about for remote teams is sync review, which is a new feature in Nuke Studio, Hero, and Hero Player that lets multiple users sync sessions together to do collaborative review sessions. And this is one that, we were working on it, and we were thinking it was going to be, later in the year before we released it, but we decided, to try to focus on that now. And we've gotten it to a pretty good place. It's quite robust. You can add any number of users. You can work at any resolution that your hardware allows. And it's got quite a lot of functionality, for collaborating and for everyone to take part in the session. So it's, yeah, I think we got to quite a good place with it in a short time. And already we've had really, really positive feedback from teams that have started to play around with it.
It's funny. So you guys were preparing for offering all these different things for remote workflows, and it just, with COVID, it just sort of hastened the process a bit.
Yeah, it's yeah, and I think it's yes, definitely. And I mean, a lot of these things we wanted to do, like they were beneficial in the normal kind of work scenarios, or like people, requests for a long time. We've had people asking to take Nuke on set and wanting to take a license with them, or teams wanting to collaborate between offices. But now we're seeing, with everyone working remotely, those things that they're even more important, because it's not every once in a while now, it's everyone all the time. And it just, it makes it more valuable for us to do them now and bring them forward. And I think, with Indie as well, right? It's them having access to more tools to learn and to get up and running, as well as we're seeing more, artists looking to set out on their own and start their own freelance business, whether that's, on the side, to their day job, or because now, their day job doesn't exist anymore at the moment. It's, it feels like it's a great time for Indie as well, with more people working remotely and more projects open, to having teams being remote.
Okay. And then finally, if you can share any information, so what's the future hold for Nuke?
Yes, so 12.2, is our kind of mid-cycle release for Nuke 12. It's got this great incremental features in it, but we are already working ahead, for the next releases. And we have some quite exciting projects around core performance. Also starting to look at updates to the 3D system in Nuke, and improving the experience for artists. Updating the 3D system is probably the second most requested improvement that we get after performance. So it's great to be working on both of those. Our research team is doing some great work around machine learning as well. So you may have seen the ML server, which we announced at Siggraph, or around Siggraph last year. So that's a open source tool to help you train tools and start experimenting with machine learning powered tools in Nuke. We've taken that even further, and we're looking forward to getting updates out there soon. So there's a lot in progress really for the next few months. Not slowed down at all really with being remote, and have some really exciting things coming up.
Fantastic. Well, where can people find out more about Foundry and Nuke and your other products?
Yes, well, of course, we're all around the internet. So, the the mothership, right, is foundry.com, right, with all the information on all the products, all the releases from Nuke to Katana, Marimoto. All the information is there, as well as on Nuke Indy, right, if you want to learn more about that. You can also hit us up, on social media at Foundry Team, and definitely get in touch.
Fantastic. Christy, thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Randy. It's been a pleasure.